On September 12, 2022, michelleNicolich, 37 years old, became a victim of a brutal crime, targeted by her ex-partner, Ezequiel Ramos, a 38-year-old medical student. Michelle was described by her family as being at peace with life, a true caring mother who did everything for her 2 children. Residing in the São Mateus region, east zone of São Paulo, Brazil, Michelle had been under constant tension since May, when she separated from the father of her children and moved from Ponta Porã, Mato Grosso do Sul, to São Mateus. Michelle thought that with the move, she could find peace again, away from her ex-husband, but unfortunately, she was mistaken. Ezequiel spared no effort, and distance was no obstacle for him to continue pursuing Michelle until he did something unforgivable to her. Today, we will talk about the michelleNicolich case. The relocation happened after a threat from Ezequiel in Ponta Porã, where he was detained for pointing a gun at Michelle's head. Even after the detention, he continued threatening her, and during a search of their house, the police found hidden ammunition and pistols. Although Ezequiel claimed to have permission to carry a firearm, he was arrested for threats and irregular possession. After being released with an electronic ankle monitor, Michelle fled to São Paulo out of fear, living in hiding with her children. Despite the protective measure to keep Ezequiel away from Michelle, he claimed embarrassment in attending medical classes with the ankle monitor. The court then removed the device, and he continued attending classes. Michelle, seeking help and obtaining protective measures, saw Ezequiel being arrested, released, fitted with an ankle monitor, and later, free again. According to Jax, Michelle's brother, she decided to separate from the aggressor when she discovered his involvement in a dating site. The brother also emphasized that Ezequiel had always been a threat to her life and had even attempted to harm her son. In a phone interview, Jack stated that his sister had been living in hiding with her 2- and 5-year-old children for several months. He added, she had only recently returned here with the children, after being assaulted and threatened with death by Ezequiel in Ponta Porã, where they used to live. On Father's Day, Michelle arranged for the children to spend the day with Ezequiel but avoided meeting him personally. Jax explained, she asked someone else to take the children. My sister was very afraid of him, so much so that she didn't even ask for child support. She claimed to have faced death up close. She was terrified of him. He used a fake profile to stalk her. Ezequiel, using a pseudonym on social media, still had pictures with his ex-wife. In heartfelt posts, he expressed his despair, claiming to be paying for a mistake he didn't commit and losing everything, children and wife, without apparent reason. Days before the crime, Michelle, who was a fortune teller, had a disturbing nightmare anticipating her own death at the hands of Ezequiel. The tragedy reached its peak with the shooting murder of Michelle and her 2-year-old son, Luiz Nicolich, in front of the children's school. Footage from security cameras of a nearby establishment shows the impactful moment when Michelle's vehicle, a white Uno, crashes into a pole after being shot by her ex-husband, Ezequiel. In the camera footage, Michelle can be seen leaving with her vehicle moments before the tragic murder. Ezequiel parked his car in front of the children's school, a little behind a school bus. After Michelle put the children in the vehicle and maneuvered to leave, Ezequiel got out and began firing at her. Michelle lost control of the car and collided with a pole. Subsequently, Ezequiel approached the car carrying a rifle, fired more shots, and quickly fled. An off-duty military police officer, upon hearing the shots and noticing Michelle's car zigzagging, decided to intervene. However, when confronting Ezekiel, he was very calm and composed, asking for the police to be called. The killer caused outrage in the population, and at the police station, it was revealed that he had premeditated the crime. Despite rescue efforts, Michelle and her son Luiz did not survive their injuries. Surprisingly, the second daughter, who was also present in the car, managed to survive unharmed. The girl was handed over to her maternal grandfather to recover psychologically after witnessing the murder of her mother and younger brother, in a crime committed by their own father. During the interrogation at the police station, Ezekiel remained silent. However, a military police officer informed that he claimed to have met his wife to resolve financial issues, alleging that she had caused him a loss of $14,000, which was the money from the couple's savings that Nicolich allegedly took with her when she fled to another city. The officer also mentioned that the man admitted to losing control, asking for his life to be taken. The victim's family contested Ezekiel's presented version, denying that the motive was financial. The victim's brother recalled that Ezekiel had assaulted and pursued his sister, and there were even protective measures against him. He was arrested on the spot and taken to the São Mateus police station, where the case was registered as femicide and homicide. The crime was doubly qualified, involving base motives, cruel means, and no chance of defense for the victims. Although Ezekiel claimed to the police that he had abandoned the weapon inside the vehicle, it was not found during the investigation. In a statement, the delegate in charge of the case stated, "The accused, with easy access to firearms and a true arsenal, could at any moment take the lives of his partner and their 2 minor children, so it is clear that he may continue to commit crimes during the penal prosecution if kept free, considering information provided by the victim that the perpetrator had already killed about 3 people and remained unpunished, moving to another city." This statement by the delegate implies that Ezekiel might have been involved in other previous homicide cases and had escaped justice, but there is no further information about these other cases. Nicolic's case is under investigation by the police, who seek to find the weapon used in the crime and explore the possibility of involvement of a second person in the criminal action. Mother and son were buried at the Horto da Paz Cemetery in Itapecerica de Serra, São Paulo. Leave your opinion on this case in the comments, subscribe to the channel to discover more stories like this, and don't forget to leave a like. See you in the next video.